Next up, at UFC Mexico, we have another fight without a Mexican in it. We have Claudio Puelles taking on Faraz
Did you say
Ziam.
Puelles?
Yeah. How are you saying Claudio? How are you saying his last name?
Puelles.
Claudio Puelles.
Yeah, you said Puelles. We got Claudio Puelles.
Puelles. Well, we got Claudio taking on Faraz Ziam. Claudio is 12-3 overall. He is 4-1 in his last 5, coming off the sad, embarrassing, should-be-cut performance against Dan Hooker. He's taking on Faraz Ziam, 14-4 overall, 4-1 in his last 5, riding back-to-back wins. I'm about to make fun of Claudio and his fight style, but let me compliment him first. He is a fantastic grappler. He is dangerous everywhere on the ground. He has 3 knee bar wins in the UFC, which is a record. A knee bar, if you're not super familiar with grappling,
down on the floor.
That's not an easy thing to get, let alone get it 3 times in a fist fight when he doesn't have that many fist fights in the octagon. It's very impressive that he has done that 3 separate times. He is young. He's only 27 years old. A good amount of experience for his age. He's a grappler. He'll use kicks to sort of keep distance and stay away from the striking. He doesn't really want to engage fully with the striking. He'll do what he's supposed to do, but you can tell he wants it on the ground as quickly as possible. And I get it. There's such a wide gap is the word. A wide gap. Ever since I went sober, my brain is foggy. When I drink, it's crisp, clear.
You need to start doing cocaine. That's a nice alternative. That'll clear you right up.
He averages around 3 takedowns per fight, but he does have a negative striking differential of almost 2-3. And he is coming off of what was one of the most when I think of insanely embarrassing fights in the UFC,
he almost had a fucking finish.
2 of them come to mind instantly. One is
I know
Herbert Burns.
Oh.
It's not that bum on your head. One is Herbert Burns. At least that bum got smoked by the champ. One is Herbert Burns,
who almost finished that fight as well.
And then when he doesn't, what happened the rest of that fight? Claudio, yeah, his baby brother carried him out of the cage like this. It was so sad, dude.
He literally was like what they say, like a Victorian painting. He was like, just in fucking Gilbert's arms.
It was so sad, dude. He hasn't fought like 2 years because of that. I think he's afraid to come back out. Anyway, that is one of the most embarrassing ones I can think of. And then Claudio plays his last fight. The problem with these nasty, this is a gross generalization. He is not, as much as I shit on Mackenzie Dern last week for As much as I shit on Mackenzie Dern last week, it was for her lack of wrestling. She is tough as nails, and we saw that. Her face was shattered, and she continued to come forward and tried to win that fight. Yeah, she pulled guard in the 3rd round, but that's because she couldn't get it to the ground otherwise, and that was her best chance to win. Totally fine. Claudio Puelles, on the other hand, will not engage in striking, is not tough, and was literally just butt-scooting, playing this game in the middle of the octagon against Dan Hooker, and it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. And he took some time off, and hopefully he has reflected on that and changed up his fight style. He's taking on Faraz Ziam. This guy's a long, rangy striker. He works well in the clinch. He manages range with solid leg kicks. And when he decides to close that distance, he'll work to a clinch where he'll get some elbows in and try to get a takedown. He is a very technical fighter. He does avoid risks at all costs. He picks his shots well, and he only engages when he sees an opportunity. All of these are fancy words to say he is boring, but he knows what he's doing. He's not going to take chances, but he's going to put himself in the best possible position to win. He is coming off that win over Jai Herbert, where it was a boring point fight, but it was enough to get the win. I think you and I, somebody said they heard it elsewhere. I think you and I invented the term jiu-jitsu nerd, did we not?
It's a fun term, and it's I wouldn't be surprised if I made it up.
I thought we made it up. Somebody said they thought they heard it from, I forget who else they said they heard it from, but You've taken it a step further and you say jiu-jitsu pussy. That's a little too much. But
whoa,
yeah, I agree. It's disgusting.
I wouldn't.
It is.
I don't disparage fighters ever.
Filth.
Not me. No,
I
sir. Not
if
me.
I know that song. Yeah, I get it. I finally
that
get
song,
one.
huh?
I finally get it. Yeah, because it's
Who is
it's
it?
ludicrous. Yeah, it's ludicrous.
Nope.
I love it. What? Not me. Step back. Step back.
We're singing two different songs there, buddy.
Well, he says
Two
not
different-
me in that song. Not me.
It's two different songs,
Well,
buddy.
what
I
are you
got Rick
singing?
Ross and Lil Wayne.
Oh, that's not the
No,
one I was
sir. Not me. I'm double platinum just like my Ferrari.
Okay. Anyway, I thought we invented the term, and I thought we invented it from this fight. I literally thought it was this fight that triggered that. With all that being said, the jiu-jitsu nerdiness in Claudio Puelles will keep him dangerous at any moment. Just like Joe Rogan thought that Carlos Vera was going to finish that fight at any possible second. But I don't see it. I think Firas Ziam is the perfect combination of insanely boring, insanely patient, and very cerebral. He's a very, very smart fighter who is not going to take unnecessary risks. He's not going to be anywhere near Claudio for a butt scoot or a random rolling knee bar. Firas Ziam should win this fight. I think these odds are perfectly appropriate. And if you only saw Claudio Puelles' last fight, Firas Ziam would be a minus 11,000 favorite. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Let me just say, first of all, big fan of Ziam, right? I like who he is as a fighter. You can see that he was kind of embarrassed as well. You want to talk about an embarrassing loss in that Terrence McKinney fight, right? He gets dropped and submitted immediately, and he was supposed to be like the next big thing, and that was supposed to be a big fight, a competitive fight, and he got absolutely smoked. But he rebounded off that. He showed off not only improvement in his, I would say, his mentality, the way that he fights in the cage, right? He's a little bit more aggressive now, but also in his overall development of his overall game, right? He was already a very dynamic kickboxing, long-rangey striker, and he is going to be the better striker in this matchup, but he has started mixed in not only the takedown defense, but now offensive wrestling now. And you can see he really enjoys the offensive wrestling and the offensive grappling now.
That's a problem.
That's a siren, Angelo. That
was
is
pretty good.
That is not a good situation when you are fighting such a specialist in Claudio Puelles. Now, Puelles, I believe, is going to look much sharper on the feet. He's been down, I don't know if he was at Lobo, but he's been with Diego Lopez, working on the boxing, that type of striking. So I think I've seen the Instagram videos of him hitting pads, right? And obviously, I was like, oh, anybody can hit pads, you know. But it looks good. I mean, it looks sharp. It looks like he might come in a little bit more aggressive in the striking. But if this goes to the ground, he is just so goddamn dangerous, man. He is so goddamn dangerous. The issue for me is, and I don't get it either, because these jiu-jitsu leg lock guys are all obviously good everywhere, right? They're black belts. So you have to do anything and everything. But it's like they forget everything else that they can do just chasing leg locks. It's absolutely insane. They won't even get in guard or look for triangles or arm bars. That last fight versus Vera, right? The corner had to yell to him, hey, you have a reverse triangle, jackass. And he threw that reverse triangle in. It's so weird how they're just chasing specifically for leg locks. But long story short, I'm not giving up. Excuse me?
Tiffany brought me a water. And Tiffany
Get
brought
out
me
of
water.
here.
Doesn't
Hey.
want to be on camera.
Who is that? Listen, guys, I fucking apologize for this.
No, she's good. She's good not on camera.
Yeah, I fucking apologize for this. Middle of a break. Imagine if I pulled that shit middle of
I
a
didn't
breakdown.
talk to you. I was just getting up, and you had to say
Imagine.
something. Go ahead.
Imagine.
There's no woman in your apartment to get you up. The dog
I've got a
that
phone
eats
for
6
that.
meals while we're on the street.
I've got a phone for that. Yeah, look, we're done. But as I was saying before, I mean, this was just mentally, I don't know if I can get over it. But Ziam is the better striker in this matchup. But I am.
Go ahead, my bad.
Can you go get a glass of wine or something? Because I don't know who this person is.
The sober is rotting my brain.
I can't wait to see
rotting my brain.
I can't wait to see the very first ever Angelo's annoying comment. Because it's always me. Jacob interrupts too much. He's annoying. And then the first one's gonna be like, that Angelo's a fucking weirdo. All right, I'm not ready to give up on Claudio Puelles just yet. I think he's gonna be aggressive in there in the striking. And actually he's got decent takedowns. Even in that fight where Angelo says it was embarrassing and he was giving up, and obviously he was doing the Imanari rolls and it was looking crazy, but a couple times, even when it looked like he was down and out and was quitting on himself, he still got to a single on Dan Hooker. I mean, he was still shooting some decent shots. Obviously, then he was just trying to roll and do stupid shit, but I think he comes in more aggressive. I think he was also embarrassed by that fight. I think he's a proud guy. And I think that Ziam's willingness to try to offensive wrestle is going to be his downfall. I guarantee there's at least one moment in this fight, just like that Hooker fight, where Ziam's in a lot of trouble. And I think Puelles is going to be able to finish it against him. But obviously, I'm not super confident on Mr. Claudio, but he is going to be my pick. I just think Ziam's going to make a mistake, and it's going to fall right into Claudio's lap.
I don't know if I don't know who your lock of the week is. I don't even know if you know who your lock of the week is. But I will definitely. I always watch your streams while I watch the fights, but I'm going to make it a point to make sure I'm watching your stream while Claudio's fighting, because if he's pulling that leg lock, roly-poly nonsense bullshit.
I don't know if you could tell. I don't know if you could tell, because we were sitting next to each other, but when Vera started rolling around and flipping around and stuff, I wish I had some jeans on, because those sweatpants weren't cutting in that moment, man. Holy shit. I do love that shit. And I love the fact that Rogan fucking loves it. And I told you before the fight, I said, Rogan will watch these leg lock guys, and every single time, it could be the third round of Ryan Hall getting his face beat in, but if he grabs your leg for a second, Rogan is always like, he's in trouble here. He's got to be careful here. He's in trouble here. And every time Vera was anything, he'd be like, oh boy, this is what he does. This is what I was telling you. Telling you.
It's like legit pathetic. Like when Aljo was refusing to play that game and that Fury grappling, whatever that was. Yeah. And there's actually, it's like, I think Aljo, it's been an annoying, pathetic thing for a while, but I think a lot of people took Aljo's side in that. And I've been seeing more and more videos of people like trying the butt scooting and like, no, we're not playing this game. And all the comments are like, this sucks. So hopefully they get shamed out of doing it.
Like 3 million views out of that. I appreciate Aljo.
Did it really? I knew it did a lot.
Yeah, that was the one that paid me last month because of that tweet. I got $85 off of Twitter. And this past month,
that's a lot for nothing.
I know. It was like $13 or something. So a little insight into the. So become a premium member today. It's only $10 a month.
Because $90 in 2 months isn't going to do it. Cran said, "What box wine do I drink?" It is BETOPENLY Nighthawk Chardonnay. Laugh if you will. Best wine in the game. $8,700 in DraftKings. I'll tell you right now, Firas Ziam is a full-blown fade. Even if he wins this fight, it will be with point fighting on the outside. He's not going to win this fight by stoppage. He's not going to win this fight with takedowns or control, because to take Jacob's point, if he does shoot some takedowns, that's not... The reason Firas is boring is because he's smart. And he's not going to take stupid risks like get it to the ground. I don't think he's going to do that. That would be so foolish.
I think what could easily happen is Claudio shoots. It's not a great shot, and Ziam's like, "Oh, I'm going to show him. I'm going to take him down now." Like, he's not going to offensively shoot, but if he gets shot and he's in a body lock, I guarantee Ziam at one point takes Puelles down, and Puelles is going to be like, "Oh hell yeah."
Yeah. I mean, I think he's too. I think he's too smart for that, but I guess we'll see. If you do want to check out all the bets, the picks, the round line leans, and more, WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member. At the top, it is only $10. This was a topic of conversation before. I don't know what he's trying to say here, but this was a topic of...
You're such an old man. I mean, he's like, I'm here before someone wants to talk about throwing him off the commentary team. He's in before.
Meaning he agrees with that statement. Like I was the first to think it?
He's like, I'm here because he knows people are going to argue about it. So he's like, I'm here before the big argument.
Well, anyway, here's the big argument. I said this in my recap video. I do think it's sort of passed Joe by. So I've said this many times. I've seen every single event ever when it aired. And when they took it off of TV, I would go buy the VHS tapes and then watch them. Back in the day, in the mid 2000s, there was only one UFC event a month, and it wasn't even every month. And it was basically all a pay-per-view. Every single event had a number. This is before they invented fight nights. And it was always Joe Rogan. So there is nostalgia. You would wait a whole month, and every event had a title fight. Every event was big.
Just to hear that sweet voice.
There is nostalgia to his voice. And Goldberg, there's nostalgia to those voices. But once we got the sweet taste of DC and some actual jokes and funny commentary and people who have actually done it and all of that, hearing Rogan go in on like some random stuff is like a little too much sometimes. So I think Rogan and DC might be good, but I didn't love the commentary this past weekend. Like, and I love Rogan. There's something nostalgic about it. When he's doing the call, you love it. But I'll take DC and almost anybody. DC and Felder is a great combination. I'll take those two on a pay-per-view any day of the week over Rogan and Bisping. So there's that. Do you hear the dogs?
Yes, I hear all your unprofessional distractions and tangents.
You think she would do so? You think she would do something?
Leave
about
a comment.
It's unbelievable.
If you're watching this, and let me know if you think Angela's annoying. So,
Anik is the most random guy. What's random about Anik? Anik's the color commentator, or sorry, the play-by-play guy. The other ones are the color. I think he's just talking about the 2 or 3 references that Anik said some wild shit, but that's not constant. Before you go, let me give you $50. Anybody who goes to wewantpicks.com/bets and signs up with any one of our affiliate partners gets $50 as a thank you. Use the link, sign up, make a deposit. We send you $50 as a thank you.